Ta-da! Kotagiri special. Well, it's been a couple of 3 weeks in the shed, a few new parts, lick of paint, a little bit of polish, and we're done. And I'm pretty pleased with the result, actually. So what has been done? Firstly, I changed the tyres, put on these Avon Road Riders that are vastly superior to the old safety mileage tyres it had. You know, the ones with a ribbed front and the square back. These have got a much better profile, and they're a lower profile as well. So that means there's less flex in the tyre, although they do still give pretty good feedback. Disc brake at the front, Enfield Indian disc brake. Many of the parts are Brembo India. It's made under licence bits, and it's a really good brake. You might expect it to be a little bit like disc brakes from the 60s or 70s that are really wooden. But this actually gives really good feel and has got really good stopping power. So I'm really impressed with the front brake. And combined with the tyres, I haven't really had to use the rear, which is unusual for a Bullet. I know the old twin leading shoes are very good brakes when properly set up, but this is better. The rear, didn't have to do anything with the rear because the rear would just stop anything pretty much. That locks up really easily, so there's no need to do anything with that. Change the headlight, put something more modern on there. It's a lot brighter, a lot better at night. Anyone who's ridden a Bullet at night, especially in India, could probably testify that the lights aren't really that good. So we've gone for one from the latest Bullet. It's got a halogen bulb in it. Okay, so it's not quite up to modern bike standards, but it's for a Bullet, it's very, very good. Got rid of a lot of weight. Actually lost about 20 kilos in total. Big part of that was the mud guards, because it had those big, heavy mud guards on it. Gone for lightweight alloy ones. Actually, I had to take off the forks to get rid of those big heavy metal shrouds that it has. And you need a special tool to remove the forks, which is like a T-bar with a 1/2 inch hex on it. You drop it in the top of the forks and unscrew it. I haven't got one of those. But after a little bit of thinking, a little bit of head scratching, the foot peg mounts on a bar about yay long. Is 1/2 inch hex. Whether that's by design or accident, I don't know, but it fits perfectly, and with a 1/2 inch spanner you can remove your forks. The tank, just gave the tank a clean and a polish because it's got those hand painted gold lines on. You may have seen the video of the Royal Enfield factory, that guy that paints the lines on the tank. Thought it was very important that we kept those. Gone for a single seat and a lower seat as well. One of the complaints about Bullet seats can be how they dig the inside of your thighs, especially when you put your feet down. So I've gone for a narrower seat and lower. It's got rid of that problem. And you also sit a little bit further back, which is quite nice. So it's slightly more aggressive. A lot more fun for attacking those twisties. Rear mudguard, got rid of that huge great metal item off there, and that horrible tail light assembly with the big square lights and the big square indicators. Just gone for modern round indicators on it. We've kept the indicators because the owner wanted to have, you know, basically as modern a bike as he could have. So he wanted indicators. Kept those. Gone for a Sparto style tail light. I love these. I just think these are really cool. So we've got that round red tail light. The toolboxes are gone. They were big and hefty. Instead, we've got these fiberglass covers, and everything's mounted under there. The battery's now mounted centrally. All the electronic and electrical gubbins are all under there. Plus, it's got a tool roll in there as well. So you do need tools with you with an old bike like this, even if it's just a spare spark plug. So we've got those in there. The engine, it's a really low mileage bike, so we didn't want to do too much with the engine. It's got electronic ignition now, partly electronic ignition. It still points, so you still get that limp home capability. Put a sports air filter on it, got rid of that big chunky air filter, and combined that with a sports exhaust. anyone who knows my builds know I'm a big fan of the old reverse cone Megas, so it's got one of those. And I've rejetted the carb to suit. So I've changed the needle and main jet and the pilot jet as well. And I've got it now set up and it's running really sweet. And it's given it a little bit of extra oomph, I think, as well. I mean, it sounds like amazing, but yeah, definitely it's got a little bit more tractability. It pulls a little bit better. I mean, you don't worry about the top end on these. It's not about revving these engines out. All the fun is like low down to the mid-range. And when you can get a bullet right, flicking through the bends, and you just get on that bottom end power, just surfing the torque. It's fantastic. And that's about all the mods we've done. I mean, I've done loads of little things here and there to tidy up and lose weight, and kept the horns, the twin horns. Again, if you've ridden in India, you know how important the horns are. So we've kept those two big horns, and that's about it. So, why don't we go out and give it a ride? Come and see what it's like.